From the East Tennessee Weather Center, here's your afternoon weather update with meteorologist Mike Witcher.
And good afternoon. The wind's going to start to pick up from here on out, and we're tracking a cold front that could spark off a few isolated afternoon or rather evening showers and thunderstorms that will swing their way on. Some of those could become a little bit stronger as well. Lunchtime temperatures not too terribly bad. We're in the 70s, and it's going to be a little bit of a warmer day ahead of us today as those temperatures do climb back into the 80s. So today is like one last warm day before the bottom kind of drops out. A sign of the changing weather pattern, as I mentioned, is the wind's going to be picking up. So the winds are going to be out of the southwest, gusting to about 30 miles per hour at times, but sustained anywhere from about 10 to 20 miles per hour. So something to kind of keep in mind. And then the wind will back off overnight tonight. But those southerly winds will help to push our temperatures into the low to mid 80s. So yes, another warm day ahead of us today. But the cold front's going to bring us a chance for some isolated thunderstorms and a big drop in those temperatures, a couple rounds of energy moving our way through the middle part of the week. So our severe weather risk for the day today, the Storm Prediction Center has issued a level 1 risk for isolated strong to severe thunderstorms. Best timing on that is going to be after 7 o'clock here tonight. So we do have a low end potential for some damaging winds, low end potential for maybe half an inch diameter hail. So not necessarily damaging hail, but we got a lot of cold air aloft that's going to be swinging on through. So that's why the hail could be forming. That's pretty typical this time of the year. So we pick up our timeline at 7 o'clock here tonight. As we get into 9 o'clock, here's that line of showers and thunderstorms. It's isolated to nature. May kind of line up all the way through 10 o'clock, and that's why a lot of the areas underneath that level 1 risk. But by 11 and midnight, it's going to be moving its way on out of here. So there's a small window of seeing a quick little blast of thunderstorms moving on through. It is not a major severe weather threat. We're not talking about like a spring type of severe setup by any stretch. Dew points back behind the cold front. As we get past midnight, here comes a drier air. Dew points fall pretty quickly. That's going to allow our morning low temperatures as we get started on Monday in the 40s and 50s. But that cooler air will continue to settle on in. So forecast highs on Monday are only going to be in the 60s. We're talking about a 15 to 20 degree temperature drop from today through tomorrow afternoon. And then another shot of energy is going to be rounding the base of this trough. That's going to come through Tuesday night into Wednesday morning, a little potent piece of energy, if you will. Now, we don't have a lot of moisture with it. It is going to draw in some colder and drier air, but what available moisture we have actually in the atmosphere may be wrung out in the form of some flurries across the highest peaks of the Smokies. We're not talking about a snow event here, my friends, but maybe a few flurries way up on top of the tip top of the Smoky Mountains. All right, your low temperatures. It is going to be chilly this week. We're likely to have some frost forming as we get into the middle and latter part of the week. Temperatures for highs go from the low 80s today into the 50s and 60s. Kind of a shock to the system, I guess, if you will, this week. You'll need those sweaters. It is definitely going to be sweater weather for sure, but the ridge of high pressure is going to build its way back in, so those temperatures should continue to warm up a little bit more so as we get into the latter part of the month anyways. So a nice warm day ahead of us today. Cool weather this week. Chilly temperatures for overnight lows. And then those temperatures rebound nicely back into those seasonal averages as we get into next week. So make sure you stay on top of the latest weather forecast. The East Tennessee Weather app is your #1 stop shop for weather right here in our own backyard. Happy Sunday, everybody. Have a great rest of your afternoon. We'll talk more about those thunderstorms coming up with the latest information at 6 o'clock here tonight. So make sure you check back in.